Welcome to this video on alcohol. I should have made it a long time ago just because it's such a controversial topic in the health and fitness industry. But whether you like it or not, it's part of our culture, especially here in the Midwest. We use it, socialize, and that's completely fine as long as we have a healthy relationship with it. So I'm not gonna go and say like alcohol is bad for you and you have to avoid it at all costs to get the best results as possible. But I'm also not gonna say that it's good for you and you should be consuming it. So keep that in mind. But like if there is a special occasion or a holiday or something and you want to celebrate it with alcohol, do it. Like for example, I'm not gonna spend the 4th of July not drinking beer. That's just who I am. I enjoy it. I'm not just drinking to get drunk, but I'm utilizing it to have fun without having a bad relationship with it. It might hinder my progress very short term for a couple days or a week, but it's not gonna affect my progress long term as long as you get right back on track. And you're not getting drunk very consistently on every weekend basis. And this statement might sound really bad, but some days I value alcohol way more than I value gains. That sounds very bad, but I have a healthy relationship with it and it's fun. That's all I'm going to say. It's fun. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. And if you don't understand what I am talking about, you should probably not be following me, because I know there's people out there that utilize it to have fun and celebrate and all that, and they can relate to me. So that's who I'm trying to help here, and it's just a topic that's avoided way too much and should be taken head on, especially for us that live in the Midwest. It's just part of who we are. So let's get right into this PowerPoint that I threw together for you guys. So what we're gonna cover is the effects of alcohol on our bodies when overconsumed, what's a moderate amount, a good moderate amount where we won't see any negative effects, and then how to track alcohol into our macros in MyFitnessPal, and also the lowest calorie beverages. There's not a beverage that's healthier, but there are lower calorie options that we could choose to ensure that alcohol doesn't affect our body composition too much. So here are the effects of alcohol when you overconsume. Alcohol is calorie dense and it's a liquid, so it's not going to make you full. And then on top of that, it makes you want to eat and crave a lot of other foods in general. So it makes it very easy to over-consume calories, which is totally fine. You can over-consume calories on some days, but just don't do it consistently. And next, it reduces your quality of sleep. So let's say you had 10 drinks or whatever it may be, you over-consumed alcohol, you fall asleep, and you get 8 hours of sleep. 8 hours of sleep drunk is nothing near what 8 hours of sleep would be sober. Just because your body is working so hard to break down the alcohol and get your body back to normal. Next, dehydration. As we all know, as you drink, you're gonna pee a lot more. So the best way to go about this, just have more water throughout the day and have some Powerade Zeros or some other electrolyte beverages that are low in calories that you could have before bed throughout the day and have right away in the morning after that. And this will also make hangovers a lot more tolerable and you won't feel absolutely terrible the next day and might actually still be able to work out. And over-consuming alcohol also decreases protein synthesis. And protein synthesis, what it is basically the process where cells make proteins, which are responsible for all cell structure and function. So, that being said, decreased protein synthesis, we're not gonna recover nearly as quickly, and we're also not gonna be able to function as optimal as we would if we did not consume that alcohol. So our workouts the next day or two may suffer. You may feel weaker, you just may not feel as dominant during your workouts as you would prior. It all depends how well you sleep, how well you hydrate, how well you recover from those higher consumed alcohol days. So those are the effects of just over consuming alcohol. But now I want to talk about what a moderate amount is. Studies have shown that there were no negative effects of alcohol when 3 to 4 drinks are consumed. So that's as long as you could control like the cravings for food at that point, because obviously when we have a few drinks, we tend to want to eat. So if you have 3 to 4 drinks on a random day during the week, that's not a huge deal. It would obviously be better to get those calories from protein, carbs, or fats, but it's fine to have a few drinks whenever during the week if you really desire to do that. Don't feel guilty if you do. Just chug some water before going to bed and you'll be good to go the next day. You might not feel as great during your workout in the morning, but your body composition, body fat percentage did not suffer. As long as you track the alcohol, as long as your calorie level was within a respectable range of what your goal was. So how can we track alcohol during these moderate amount days? Basically, this is what I do. You could screenshot this and use it for future reference, but you just figure out the calories in that beverage. So Busch Light, that's my go-to, as you know, 95 calories. So all I do is track it as 24 grams of carbs in MyFitnessPal. And track it as carbs or fats because in MyFitnessPal we're obviously not tracking our alcohol grams in there. So we need to track it somehow, so track it as carbs or fats and not protein, because since it might affect our protein synthesis slightly, it's best to get in our goal of protein, like actual protein for that day. And for choosing the best beverage for yourself, there is not one alcoholic beverage that is healthier, but you can choose a lower calorie one. That's pretty much what you would consider healthy, I guess, as far as alcohol goes, because there's no nutrients that are good for you, I'd say, in alcohol. As you can see, we got the light beer, the shots, the spiked seltzers, that are very common now. And then for mixers, just go with something very low calorie and try to make your drinks low sugar, because that's honestly the only way that your alcoholic beverages are going to be high calorie, is if there's added sugar or added fat as well, which isn't very common, but like I guess a creamy beverage would make it more high fat. But yeah, as long as you're mainly getting the non-added sugar drinks, you're going to be doing pretty good with the low calories. So you could have 3 Busch Lights during a day, and that would be 285 calories, I think, right? And then I just track that as about, well, 24 grams of carbs per one, so 72? Yeah, 72 or 71 grams of carbs is what I'd track it as, and I'd be good to go. Could track it as fat too, but I always have more carbs to consume based on my goals and preferences, so I usually just put it into my carbs. So since 3 to 4 drinks is a moderate amount and doable and won't have any negative effects, I'm not saying that you should have 3 to 4 drinks every day, because that added up could probably lead to some negative effects. And it's best to get our calories from protein, carbs, and fats because they're essential, and alcohol is the macronutrient that provides calories that is non-essential. So our bodies don't need alcohol, obviously. And then we got wine. I do not know a dang thing about wine. I don't drink wine, but I found the lowest calorie wines, and I'm probably missing some other types, but this is what I got for you. If you drink wine, I hope this helps. And to review, it is best to consume alcohol in moderation. So just a couple drinks there won't be negative effects. When you have your potentially higher alcohol consuming days coming up, make sure you ask yourself prior to it, like, is it worth it? Is it worth like sacrificing your progress to go out on this day? Like some days it's like, hell yeah, it should be a hell yeah, rather than just like, oh, I don't know, whatever kind of thing. Like it should be like the 4th of July, like, yeah, super pumped, or like you're meeting up with some college friends you haven't seen in a year, or yeah, there's a big group of you and you're gonna be going out and celebrating. Go enjoy that. But during like events like that, you can still make good drink choices so your calories aren't like skyrocketed. And you can also just be self-aware of like the food you consume. Like it doesn't mean avoid pizza, avoid burgers, avoid anything, but just be self-conscious and self-aware of what you're choosing. Don't just say because you're drinking you get to eat everything, anything and everything. You're still the one making the decision. I know it can be harder to when you're buzzed up, but it's still on you. So just keep that in mind. Nobody else is gonna like make the choices for you. And I just gotta end this video by saying, I'm not here to say alcohol will speed up results. I am teaching people that enjoy having some drinks that it is possible to still have that and live a sustainable, healthy, fit lifestyle with it in their journey. So let's end it there. Cheers, you guys. I'm gonna have a bush light for you guys. 24 grams of carbs right there, and we're still seeing progress. So get your workout in today, have fun, and have a killer week.